Hey, what's up, Michael DeLine? How are you doing today? Well, this morning for me. How's everybody doing? That's good. That's good. Of course, um, we're gonna wait a little bit. Give people a minute or two to get up in the live stream. Glowing Goddess, how are you? How are you doing today, Glowing Goddess? I know it's been a little while since I did a live stream. Give people a little bit of time. Um, Any of you guys in the live stream want to ask any questions while we wait, feel free. Of course, anything, spiritual, psychology, anything that concerns, um, you can let me know right in the chat and I'll answer your question while we wait. That's good. That's good. Thank you guys for coming into the live stream. Happy Mercury Day too. For all those that don't know, Wednesday is the day of Mercury. All right, the day of communication. Okay. So, Glowing Goddess, you're asking a question about twin flames. What's your question concerning twin flames? Michael Delan, yes, there's a big difference between the brain and the mind. Okay, the brain is the instrument for the mind to be used in. The mind is not something tangible or physical. It comes from a higher frequency. Okay, but at the same time, your brain has to be healthy for you to be able to use your mind at a high capacity, if this makes sense. Okay, but the brain and the mind are two different things, just like you and the body are two different things. Again, the real you, the spirit, is something higher, a higher frequency. Your body is materialistic. Okay, it's physical. All right, so again, the brain is physical. The mind is something higher frequency, but the brain is an instrument for the mind to be used in, if this makes sense. Okay. Does that make sense, Michael? Also, Glowing Goddess, what's your question concerning twin flames? Um, okay, so you're asking, Glowing Goddess, you're asking, how do you know or tell if someone is your twin flame? Okay, first of all, I just want to point out that you have multiple twin flames in life. Okay, you have multiple soulmates in life. Okay, there's a big misconception telling people that you only have one twin flame, um, you only have one soulmate. And the reason why you have multiple is because you go through an evolution process in your journey in life. Okay, who you were at 14 years old is not who you are when you're 28 years old. Okay, so each specific period, you give off a certain energy. Now, remember what I said, that the twin flame or the so-called soulmate is going to be the exact opposite of your energy. So this is why it all comes down to the energy that you're giving out. So to answer your question, Glowing Goddess, how can you tell? First of all, it's not going to be exactly what people tell you what is going to be, all online, all the fluff, the fairy tale, like you're going to fall in love with this person as soon as you see them. It doesn't work like that, because a lot of the times the twin flame or the soulmate, again, it's your exact opposite. So sometimes there's a little bit of friction between you guys because you guys are supposed to come together and grow together. Okay. So your twin flame is not, you know, people tend to run away from their twin flame or their soulmate because it's too hard or it's too difficult, because in today's time everybody wants to be comfortable. So what do people do? They try to search for people that are just like them and do everything that they want them to do because it's comfortable for them. Okay, but the twin flame, the soulmate, is not here to make you comfortable. He or she is here to make you grow. So what you'll notice is that the twin flame or soulmate will be exactly opposite of everything that you are. Okay, but there will still be a magnetic pull. Okay, you'll know there'll be a magnetic pull between you two guys, between the two individuals. It's something you can't describe with the logic or words and stuff like that. It's something that you just have to feel, but you'll notice that there'll be the exact opposite. Okay, let's just say you're an introvert, they'll be an extrovert because that's what you need. Two introverts will not be able to grow together. Okay, if you're an introvert, that means you need an extrovert, and it's, you know, vice versa. Okay, if you're extra emotional, they'll be extra logical. Okay, if you're extra dreamy, like watery type and artistic, they'll be extra business, you know, minded and more structured, because again, that's what you guys need to grow. So you got to look at that. The next time you're looking at a potential relationship or potential even friendship, because people tend to have bad friendships because they're looking for people that are just like them all the time. You're trying to be comfortable instead of getting around people that'll make you grow, that'll push you to your limits. This is what relationships is about. Okay. So again, look at those opposites and feel that magnetic pull. Don't run away from it just because they're not exactly what you paint in your head. That's where people mess up too. This is why I say, if you have a list, like if you're single and you have a written list, I mean, even if it's in your head and you say my next partner has to be this, she has to be this and that, you're already failing relationships. And this is why a majority of those people that have those lists wind up in bad relationships or single. Okay. Hello, everybody new coming into the live stream. Peace, everybody. Thank you for coming into the live stream. I love everybody. Okay, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time out. Okay, so Nicolina, I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with pronouncing. Everybody knows I'm so bad with pronouncing. Nicolina, what are my crushes, Capricorn, truest wish I can do for him? Can you please reframe that question? Um, I'm not sure what you mean by that question. I'm sorry. Nikolai, can you please ask your question again? You're saying, what are my crushes, Capricorn, truest wish I can do for him? I think you might be asking, you have a crush that's a Capricorn, and you're asking, what is his truest wishes that you can do for him? What does he want from me? Again, that's more of a difficult question, Nicolina, because you have to look at a person's whole entire chart. You know, I say this a lot where I say, you can't judge somebody just off the sun sign. All right. What you're saying, he's a Capricorn, that's what we call the sun sign. All right. Now, if you want to see what he wants in a relationship, you have to look at his Venus sign, his Mars sign, his moon sign, and his seventh house. Okay. The sun sign has little to do with an individual when it comes to relationships. So don't get confused, guys. Again, I break this down a lot. Don't get confused about those sun signs, okay? Because they're totally, you'll be inaccurate if you just judge somebody off of that. You need to look at somebody's whole entire chart. This is what makes somebody an individual, because you can have two Capricorns, right, in the same room and they'll be totally opposite. Okay, totally nothing alike. All right, so try not to judge people off their sun signs, guys. You have to look deeper. Of course, if you can't get the person's chart, you're going to have to learn how to analyze. This is why you got to study astrology and stuff, and then you'll be able to analyze and take educated guesses. Okay. So, Nicolina, I hope this makes sense. Oh, does he likes me like I like him? Again, that's a question, you know, that's a deeper question. Okay, so okay. Thank you for coming to the live stream, truly mine. Okay, I found them both better yet. Okay, Champagne C, you're saying I feel like it's such a big distraction with the whole twin flame twin flame idea. Is it okay to not focus on the whole twin flame thing and just focus on yourself and your spiritual path? Champagne C, great. Yes, that's the beginning thing. Okay. Before you even think about somebody else, of course, you have to rebuild yourself. Okay. You have to focus on yourself. But Champagne C, I want to let you know that that's only 50% of the work. Okay. That's only 50% of the work. As soon as you learn how to master yourself and you're on your path, now you have to work with other people. Okay. Because there's only so far you can get with your own energy. That's just how life works. Human beings were not destined to be alone. But you are right, Champagne C. You have to build yourself up first. And this is and a lot of that has to do with your self-confidence. Okay, because if you have low self-confidence, low self-esteem, and you're not on your path and you're not doing the things that you love, you're going to bring a lot of resentment to the relationship. Also, if you're not over past relationships, like if you got your heart broken and now you're bitter because of that, you're going to bring negative energy to the new relationship. This is why people tend to go in a cycle with their relationships. Okay. And I'm glad you asked this question, Champagne C, because this is going to tie into the discussion today. Okay. Michael DeLine, there's infinite dimensions. Okay. It's something that the human brain can't comprehend. All right. So I want to talk about the shadow self, because a lot of individuals are not familiar with the shadow self. All right. Now, if any of you guys have heard about the shadow self, please type in yes in the chat room for me. Okay, because I just want to see, where we're at. If you're familiar with the shadow self, if you guys have heard of the shadow self, please type in yes in the chat room, or just type in no, say I'm not familiar, because I just want to see where we're at, because great. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, LA, for participating. Okay, so what I want to speak on, though, because this is okay. Champagne C, yes, I have an experience that shoot still kind of am. That's fine. That's fine, Champagne C, because the shadow self is a part of you. Okay. And Sheldon Wade, that's okay. We're about to speak on it today. Thank you for coming into the live stream. The shadow self. Here's the whole thing. Here's the whole reason why I need to talk about this. It's because in today's time, in 2018, when it comes to spirituality, there's a lot of teachers, there's a lot of YouTubers who only speak on the happy stuff, the light stuff, nobody speaks on the other half, the darkness. Okay, because remember, darkness and light, they're both 50-50, so you can't have one without the other. Okay, you got to remember, you can't have one without the other. I'm sorry, there's all this commotion going on outside of the house right now. I don't know what's going on. Okay, hold on, guys, let me close these windows. So much commotion going on out there right now. Sorry about that, guys. But so what I want to talk about. Yeah, they only talk about the fluff. They only talk about, you know, the light, the happy stuff, how fun it is to be doing magic, how fun it is to open your third eye, how cool it is to rise your kundalini. They never talk about the other half. Now remember, this is 50% that they're not talking about. All right. Now, also with you as an individual, okay, you have a shadow self. 50% of you is shadow, 50, the other 50% is light. You are an embodiment of the yin and yang symbol. Okay. You are an embodiment of the yin and yang symbol. This is a fact. All right. This is why you have certain urges um that you just randomly get. Okay. You'll never be 100% light and you'll never be 100% dark. That's just how it goes in this reality that we're in right now. Now, the reason why society looks the way that it does, like it seems like it's more evil than it is good. Um, a lot of people, you know, a lot of people say, it seems more evil than it is good, right? Well, this is because this is because people are suppressing their shadow self. Now, what I mean by this is um, that they're suppressing certain urges. Now, in psychology, they'll tell you when you suppress something, it becomes larger and larger and larger. That's just a fact. So let's just say you're suppressing anger for somebody, right? And each day you just keep suppressing that, you keep suppressing it. And then one day you wind up attacking this individual because they just got on your nerves so much, their presence just annoys you over and over again. And you wind up just exploding because that's what happens when you suppress things. It turns into a volcano. Okay. That's just how energy works. So you, you have to understand this dark part of yourself and understand its needs. Okay. It sounds really weird, but you have to understand its needs. You have to understand how to feed your shadow self. Okay. Now, of course, you can look at this within astrology. All right. Because Pluto actually represents your shadow self in your astrology chart. Okay. Now, and I'm not talking about the actual sign that's on your Pluto. All right. Because the sign that's on your Pluto in your astrology chart represents the whole generation. All right. Now, what I'm speaking on is where your Pluto is at in the house. Okay, in the houses. Okay, so for those that are familiar with astrology, all right, if I have anybody in the chat room that's not familiar with astrology, let me know, and I'll try to break it down as best as I can. But in astrology, you have 12 houses, okay, representing the 12 signs, the original 12 signs, okay, and each house represents a particular part of your life, okay. The planets represent your personality, the houses represent, the time periods in your life. So wherever Pluto is at in your houses will determine your shadow self's needs, if this makes any sense. Okay. But you don't even need, at the same time, of course, astrology makes it easier for you. Okay, because self-analyzation takes a long time. It takes years and years. It takes years and years of analyzation, which I told you guys to get a diary, which I told you guys to analyze your thoughts, and all this. This is how you do it. It takes years to really analyze your own personality. Okay, LA, you're asking, is the natal chart accurate though? Yes, it is. The natal chart is accurate. Okay, because everything in existence right now is based off astrology. Okay, especially when it comes to business. When I'm talking about society. Okay, our mathematics, our everything. I can go down the line. Our religions are all based off of astrology. Like I said, mathematics, physics, science, everything. Everything that you can think of, if you go farther back in your research and understand where it came from, you're going to come to a point where it comes from astrology. Okay, even medicine and stuff like that. Okay, even medicine all comes down to if you do your research and go farther back, um, like I said, you'll find out that it comes from astrology, okay? And yes, LA, you can know yourself without that, of course, but it takes years of self-analyzation but it's just astrology makes it easier for you. That's all. But you don't need the astrology chart, of course, to learn. Okay. Yes, LA, I do astrology. I do natal chart readings, okay? Um check the description of this video. But my email is occulthealing22@gmail.com. All right, that email is going to be in the description of this video. Okay, I do charge a price for that. All right, but check the description of this video. Like I said, my email is there, culthealing22@gmail.com. I do chart readings. All right. Now, if you don't know the time you was born, I could still work around that. It's going to take a little bit more work on my part. All right. So don't worry about that. It's going to take a little bit more work on my part, but I can move around that if you don't know the time you was born. But what I need though is your full birth date and the city that you was born in. Okay. It just makes it easier for me if I know the time you was born. All right. But yeah, go to my again, for astrology readings, for natal chart readings, occulthealing22@gmail.com. Again, the email is in the description of this video. Okay. But like I said, from years of analyzation, you can understand your shadow self's needs. Okay. Everybody has a need. Now, I'll give you an example. Someone's shadow self could be the aggressor type because there's different types, right? They could be the aggressor type. Now, I'm not saying that this individual needs to go out and punch people in their faces, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you want to channel your shadow self's energy in a positive way. All right. So if you have the aggressor type, if you suppress feelings of fighting and aggression and high movement, okay, and this might be somebody who has their Pluto in their first house or their Pluto in um or even in their fourth. They might have these aggressive types. Also, if they're ruled by Mars, if you're ruled by Mars, you're automatically going to have this. Okay. So what you want to do, this individual needs some kind of combat, needs some kind of competition in their life. Okay. Um, so and it's sports, this individual needs to be in some kind of sports. Okay. Or if they decide to only focus on trying to be a poet or something like that, and they're suppressing all this energy, this is when their explosive anger is going to come out, and they're going to, do things that they don't want to do, because that's what's going to happen anyway. You can try to suppress all the things that you want, but you will eventually release them, and you're going to release them in such a way that it's going to be harmful to you and the environment. Okay. This is when you do things that you the next day or after, you're thinking later on in your life, why the heck did I do that? Like, and it's because you're suppressing your shadow self. Your shadow self needs some kind of feeding. Okay. So again, if you have this aggressive type down there, you need competition. You need combat. You need to use your energy. So the best way, of course, is with sports or with high exercise. Okay, with high exercise. Okay, but can you overcome what your natal chart says you are? Yes, LA, yes, you can overcome what your natal chart says you are, but still remember, you don't want to run away from the shadow self, because you'll be suppressing your shadow self. Okay, now the natal chart is for you to see how you are on autopilot. Remember, this is a free choice, free world, and you can, change, you can transform into anything. But when you're on autopilot, which 99% of society is on, because nobody knows their self because they're so distracted by TV, everything else outside their self. So everybody's on autopilot. Okay. So what happens is that you fall to the pitfalls. You see, you can overcome your weaknesses. All right. Everybody's distracted. Okay, so this is why astrology is needed more in this time than any other time, because there's so many distractions. And actually, it's going to become more and more important as time goes on, because we're going to get more and more distracted. All right. The more distracted you are, the more you're on autopilot. So all those weaknesses in your chart and stuff, you're just going through with them. But when you get a chart reading, you can see exactly what it is, so you can avoid those pitfalls. Okay, so if you find out that your shadow self is the aggressor type, you'll be able to act accordingly. You'll be able to say, "Oh, this is why I feel like this, and now I know what to do. I can start hitting the gym crazy, or I could get into kickboxing or boxing, or I can start playing football or start playing basketball with my friends more, or I can get into some other kind of competitive sport that will feed that shadow need." Okay, because again, if you don't feed it, what's going to happen is that you're going to become explosive and you're going to do things. This is why society is the way that it is right now. People always ask, wow, how can this individual just up and murder 10 people, children and all? It's because they've been suppressing their shadow self. Look in the business world and society. Everybody's so stiff, you know, the clothes are so confined. Everybody's stiff all day long, every single day. Think about the priests in church and stuff like that. Why do you think the priests are always doing some kind of sexual activity behind closed doors? It's because they're suppressing their sexuality. That's what happens. It's going to become explosive and you're going to do odd things that are not really you. Okay. And it's going to be like a magnetic pull because you keep suppressing instead of letting yourself flow. You're constricted. Like I said, those tight suits that everybody wears, they go to their job every single day, you know, they're controlling themselves, and then they go home and do the same thing. All right, because it's one thing to be at a job and you're constricted because you're out in public, but then you go home and you do the same thing because those people that you live with, those people that it could be your wife, husband, children, boyfriend, family, brother, sister. You're lying to them too. You're lying to yourself about who you are. You're lying to everybody around you about who you are. And this is what's happening, is boiling up and all of a sudden it explodes. And this is why I named this mental issues too, because mental issues are born from this. This is how somebody becomes extremely bipolar, okay? Or um or I mean or have extreme anxiety disorders, or schizophrenia, because these mental diseases are born from suppression. All right. Now, but when you heal, does your shadow self go? No. Remember, this is 50% of who you are. Okay. You just got to know how to accurately. It's just like saying anger, right? Anger's a human emotion. It doesn't matter if you meditate all day long, you're still going to have that emotion. All right. But what you're doing is you're channeling that emotion in a different way. Okay. Anger is never going to be taken away from the human emotion, because that's what humans have, that. Okay. What you want to do is channel your anger into something constructive. Okay. Michael DeLine, you're asking, is there any other techniques to self-analyze yourself other than astrology? Yes, I brought this up many times, where I say a diary. Diary is probably the easiest one. Now, how do you use this? Basically, um, at the end of every day, you want to be totally honest. You want to get a notebook. At the end of every day, you want to write out exactly how you felt, what happened, what made you feel that way, and you want to be honest. So if you were angry that day and you cursed somebody out, you want to put it in there and put why you did it. Okay, it's about being honest. Again, most people try to suppress stuff. When they make a mistake, they want to try to forget about it, right? How many people in here, including myself, have made a mistake, then you try to forget about it instead of analyzing it and learning about it. Okay, now how you do this is write it down. Okay, write it down. And then 2 weeks later, go over what you've written, throughout those weeks, right? And you'll see a pattern. You'll notice how okay, you'll notice a certain pattern and you can start moving accordingly. But again, LA, you're saying, am I bad for flipping out on somebody though? No, no, because you're not. Okay. Now, what you can say though is that's a mistake. You didn't use your energy right, but it's not something you say, dang, I'm a bad person because of that, because everybody has had a time where they flipped out on somebody. Point blank, period. Okay. So, but this comes from suppressing anger, suppressing energy. Okay. If you have a high amount of energy, right, which a lot of angry people do, this is why in school, in high school, if the angry kid that's always fighting and stuff like that, what do they tell them to do? They'll say, "Hey, you should get into football. Put that anger into something good. Hit somebody. you know, and that's using it constructive. So that's a healthy way. Or get into martial arts and discipline your mind, or work out, or get into some kind of physical activity. So the higher your energy is, okay, the more you're going to have to use that energy, because if you suppress that energy, it's going to turn into anger. This is why the planet Mars rules energy, anger, and sexuality, because these things are the same, one and the same: energy, anger, sexuality. Okay. What happens when you suppress your sexuality? You become angry. Okay. What happens when you become what happens when you suppress your energy? You become angry. What happens when you suppress your anger? Okay. And aggression, same thing. That's what I mean. Um, that's exactly what I mean. But and I don't want to just focus on anger, because that's not everybody's problem. Okay. Some people have some people's shadow self need physical connection. And these are the individuals that call themselves, that doctors say they're addicted to sex, they're addicted to attention and stuff like this. Okay. And this is because they're not getting the adequate attention or physical attention that they need. And again, everybody's different, and they'll label you. And then they don't, after that labeling, right? This will affect your self-esteem, because now you think something is wrong with you. But again, everybody has a shadow self, guys. This is what I want to let you know, so it doesn't affect your self-esteem. Because what happens when your self-esteem plummets? That means your energy, your vibration goes down. Okay? When your vibration goes down, you're now you're in a cycle of all the bad things that can happen to you. Because remember just how the law of attraction tells you, right? Wherever your energy's at, you'll start to attract. So if your energy's low, this is why everything that I tell you guys is all about energy, all about vibration, how to raise your vibration. Okay. Because if your vibration is low, now you're in a cycle of hatred. Now you're in a cycle of jealousy. Now you're in a cycle of, bad karma, or whatever so many things we could talk about. Now you're in a cycle of anxiety. Okay. So again, there's nothing wrong with you, any of you. Okay. Somebody said they had anxiety. LA, you said I have high anxiety. Okay. That could be from numerous things, but a lot of times it's because of suppressing energy. That's why it feels like you have to run, and it's the fight or flight response, right? That's what anxiety is, when you're out in public and all of a sudden you want to run away. Okay. Fight or flight response, right? Now, LA, let me know, does this happen? Is it social anxiety, or is it, or is this anxiety attacks happen even when you're by yourself? While I answer somebody else's question. Okay, so Curtis, you're saying I just came in. What you say about anxiety disorders? Okay, yeah, I was just explaining that these mental disorders, schizophrenia, anxiety, bipolar disorder, all this comes from suppressing your shadow self, because this is what this talk is about. Okay. Because, like, again, I'll explain it again, that most of these individuals that teach spirituality only teach you about one half. which is the light side, which is the fluffy side, which is the happy side. Yes, I love doing magic. I love doing yoga, and I want to open my third eye for fun and stuff like that. Nobody talks about some real stuff. And even on my channel, um, this is why I want to switch it up, because yes, I am an occultist and I want to tell you truth and give you truth that, you know, nobody is 100% good or bad. Everybody's 50-50. You are a walking embodiment of yin and yang. The yin and yang symbol, you guys look it up. The yin and yang symbol, that's a representation of you. Letting you know that you're not all light and you're not all dark. This is just how humanity is. Okay. So, yes, you're going to have certain sexual urges. Yes, you're going to have certain anger urges. Yes, you're going to have certain materialistic urges. But it's all in how you distribute those urges. You don't want to run away from them, because society is trying to teach you how to run away all the time. They're teaching you escapism. Why? Because you got to remember, we're stepping out of the age of Aquarius. I mean, we're stepping out of the age of Pisces. Okay. Pisces is known to be an escapist. Okay. This is why I said in this coming age Aquarius, it's going to be really, really hard for a lot of people. And it always is when we're making a transition. Think about it. I'll give you an example. Like when you get a new job, right? When you get a new job, that you have no clue how to do anything there, and it's scary, and it's like it hits you hard, because any new transition is going to hit you real hard. And anytime there's a new transition in life, it's going to hit people hard as well, which is already hitting people hard, because the age of Aquarius is not the age of Aquarius is an air sign, so it's not emotional. All right, it's not about emotions anymore. It's about being self-sufficient. It's about using your own intelligence now, using your own abilities now, instead of relying on others. And of course, we have to work together, right? But you have to bring your own weight now. Okay, now, like I said, the age of Pisces was escapism. So this is why the society that we've known so far, everybody that's alive right now, we've been in the age of Pisces, right? Everybody escapes from everything. They're running away from relationships, running away from their problems, running away from what they don't like, what's not comfortable to them. Okay, that's not going to work anymore in this coming age of Aquarius. Okay, so this is why I'm teaching you how to deal with this. So you do have to analyze yourself and understand these shadow self urges. Okay, you have to be honest. This is why I say get that diary, write it out. Okay. Barba, thank you. LA, thank again, everybody in the live stream. I thank you all for coming in. But you have to understand you. Okay, you have to understand, what are these urges that I have? All right, this is why I said get that diary, write it out. Be honest. Nobody has to read the diary. And some of the men out there like, I don't want to write a diary. That's girl stuff. Some of the most important, most powerful men that we know in history all had diaries. Why? Because that makes you intelligent. You're self-analyzing yourself. Now you can overcome your weaknesses and dodge those bullets, because most people are in a cycle. They do the same thing, make the same mistakes over and over again. Why? Because then by the next day, think about it. Can you remember what you ate for breakfast 2 weeks ago? Can anybody remember what they ate for breakfast 2 weeks ago? Most people can't, right? So what does that let you know? That you can easily slip into a cycle weekly. And that's what most people do. They slip into a cycle weekly. All right. So now you LIC, we sleep. Okay. Or whatever. You could say what you ate for dinner 2 weeks ago. Okay. Basically what I'm saying though is you run into a cycle, and you don't understand that you're in a cycle. Look at your relationships too. Everybody that's had multiple relationships, does it look like a cycle? Does it look like you get the same individual every time? Does it look like you make the same mistakes in your relationships, or the other individual makes the same mistakes as somebody else? They hurt you in the same way. Why? because it's something that you're not doing. Okay. Remember, like I said, it's easy to blame other people. That's the easy thing to do, but it's hard to look at yourself and say, this is what I need to work on. Okay. So again, with the astrology chart, with the natal chart, it makes it easier for you, but you can also analyze yourself. It just takes, a large amount of time. Remember, wherever your Pluto is at in the houses. So if your Pluto, let's just say your Pluto is in the second house, okay? Your Pluto's in the second house. This means your shadow self is considered around, is centered around things that you own, okay? Because the second house rules ownership, rules materialistic things, money. So these are people that need to buy things all the time. We all know one person that needs to just buy everything. Okay. And it winds up destroying themselves because see, Pluto in your chart lets you know, because it's destroy and rebuild. It lets you know exactly how the individual can destroy themselves. But the irony is that it also lets you know how you can become your best self, because the only way you can become the best you is if you come to pieces. Okay. Remember that you can't experience the biggest pleasure without experiencing the biggest pain. That's just how life works. I know it sucks, right? That you have to go through pain in order to experience pleasure. So Pluto lets you know. So it's like a double-edged sword. Okay. Like I said, if it's in that second house, that means it's centered around materialistic things. Okay. Um, it's centered around ownership, things that you own. These are the individuals that, they're so these are the like extreme materialistic people. Okay. And if they don't evolve out of that and become their true self, where they're going to have to hit rock bottom, which most likely they are, where they spend, and then they come to a point in their life, usually around midlife, where everything is gone and they fall to pieces. Now it's up to you to rise like the phoenix, because just because you have that doesn't mean saying that you're gonna rise. It's saying that you have the potential to rise. Remember, this is still a free choice, free world. So this is why if you know your chart, you'll have you have a step ahead of other people that don't. This is exactly why that billionaire, the quote said, anybody can become a millionaire, but in order to become a billionaire, you got to know astrology. Because to get that to that level of income, I'm talking about that's a lot of income to be able to control. You got to know stuff. You got to know yourself. You got to know yourself thoroughly. You got to know your weaknesses and your strengths thoroughly. You got to know the people that can work well with your energy. Okay. So Wolf Red, you're asking about Pluto in the first. Okay. This has to deal with selfishness, because remember, the first house is about the self. Okay. So when you have Pluto in the first house, becomes your shadow self is totally self-centered. It's all about you, me, right? Me, instead of seeing other people's perspectives. And this can destroy you because of that. It can destroy your relationships, right? Because you're so focused on your own needs and your own self, your own journey. Okay, I only want to focus on my path, forget everybody else. Everybody else could do what they want to do. That's not what life is about. And I know that a lot of spiritual teachers are teaching you that. And this is why I come and try to give you guys the real, because it's not just about your own path. All right, that's the first step, is getting your own path in order, right? Once you know your path, once you accurately know where you're going, now you need to help everybody else. Okay? Because that's a part of human nature, is to pick people up, regardless of who you are, what planet you're ruled by. Everybody has the sun in their chart. I tell people all the time, the sun in your natal chart represents your hero self. All right, the heroic part of you. Everybody has that. Everybody is a hero in their own right, and everybody's a so-called villain in their own right, just in different situations. Again, this is what makes human beings so complex. Okay, so Barbara, you're saying, I'm trying to get answers for RSD nerve damage. My back is very bad. Malpractice on my right leg, so close to becoming paralyzed, and don't want to take opioid. My anxiety is very high. Um, Barbara, if you want, you can get a personal because that's some deep stuff. Okay. What you can do is you can set up a personal consultation for with me, and I can go over some good things that can help you out with your with your pain and anxiety. Okay. Anybody suffering with anxiety, or anything else, of course, even if I can't exactly help you, myself, I can point you in the right direction. Okay. But as far as anxiety, that's something that I overcame myself, so I know exactly how to overcome that. So again, you can set up a personal consultation with me. My email is in the description of this video, occulthealing22@gmail.com. Of course, I do charge for my consultations, but again, it's called an equal exchange. And I just want to keep saying that. I know I keep saying that all the time, but um I just want to say that because some people don't understand that. And I'm not saying you guys, but I just every once in a while somebody doesn't understand equal exchange. Again, that's another problem in society. Everybody wants something for free without doing anything, and that's why they don't become successful. Okay. A big part of success is doing things up front. Think about it. When you want to grow vegetables, you have to do all the work first before you even reap, you know, before you even reap your benefits. You have to toe the fields, you have to plant the seeds, you have to water, you have to take care of it for months, and then you get those fruits. If you understand this, then you'll always be successful. But if you find yourself not being successful, it's because you're not understanding that concept of you can't get everything for free. And it's not a lot of everybody's fault today. It's because of the internet. Internet's good, but internet comes with a double-edged sword. It makes everybody lazy. Now everybody thinks they can get everything for free without giving anything. And this is why the gap between the rich and the poor is getting bigger and bigger. It's only going to get bigger in the age of Aquarius. Okay. Age of Aquarius is a masculine sign, guys. We're coming out of a feminine sign. It's about to get real tough. It's called tough love. So the gap between the rich and the poor is getting bigger. We could see it. Rich are getting richer, poor are getting poorer, because again, a lot of people on the bottom don't understand this concept that you have to put in something. Okay. And this has to deal with the shadow self as well. All right. What you have to put in is understanding yourself first. This is why when it comes to the tarot, all right, tarot cards, the number one card, the first card, number one, okay, besides uh besides the Fool card, because the Fool card is number 0, that represents you. Now I'm not going to explain that right now, but I want to explain the number one. The first step in life is master thyself. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, you see this? This is the Magician card. This is card number 1. All right, now those of you who are not familiar with the tarot, he has 4 items right here representing the 4 worlds. The wands represent fire, the cups represent water, pentacles earth, the swords represent air. The first step, the very first step in you and your journey is mastering yourself. That's mastering your physical reality. Okay, the first step is mastering your physical reality. What's mastering your physical reality? Is getting yourself comfortable, because if you're in survival mode, that means you're in a low vibration. So what I mean by comfortable, you got to in this society in 2018, you got to have your income. This is why, again, this is why I gave you this is why I was giving out the sessions on how to make money from home, because there's a lot of people struggling, right? A lot of people struggling with money, or they're at a job that they don't like, making them in a low vibration. Well, I was giving you out how to make money from home, but it takes work too. Okay. So that's your physical reality. Getting your health together too. That's physical. So if you're not eating properly, you're not getting exercise properly, you're going to be in a low vibration. Okay. So getting these things in order is the first thing before you even start talking about spirituality. If you don't have your income right, and you're not living comfortably, if you don't have your body right, where you're eating at least semi-healthy and you're exercising, you're getting sunlight, that's the first step. Then it's getting your emotions together, because that's the next level. Um, that's uh understanding empathy for other people. Okay. Understanding empathy for other people, feeling love again for all those people that been in relationships where they got hurt, you know, and you stay there and you have this negative consultation, cons you have this negative mind frame about relationships, about the opposite sex, male or female, you're in a low vibration. And now guess what? You're going to attract more of that. Because if you got hurt in a relationship, you should pat yourself on the back because you have a chance to grow now. Okay? Because you only grow through pain. Think about it. When you go to the gym and you work out, right? And you work out your body really, really good, the next morning is painful. That's letting you know that you're growing. Same thing mentally and emotionally. All right. You got to go through things so you can grow. So if you went through emotional issues in relationships or whatever it is, you have a chance to grow. But a lot of you guys are not letting yourself grow because you're staying there. So that's the emotional realm, the water realm that you have to work on. Then it's the mental realm. Some people are so enclosed, so tunnel visioned, right? They only want to learn one religion, only one religion. This is a disease, and this is why people don't grow and become intelligent. Okay. Understanding is keeping an open mind and learning everything. Don't just study spirituality. I tell people all the time, study business, study psychology, study physics, study biology, study nutrition, okay? Study love. Everything. Because if you just try to stick to spirituality, you're not going to know anything. Okay? You're not going to know nothing. Because spirituality is everything. Everything is spiritual. This phone right here is spiritual. But you wouldn't know that unless you knew physics, because you would know that in physics they tell you that nothing is actually solid. Okay? Nothing is actually solid. If you look at it with the right microscope, you would see these things are moving. Though they're moving really slow, there's atoms in this phone that are moving. Nothing is still. But if you only study certain things, you won't understand how life works. Okay, so that's the mental realm. Then the spiritual realm, of course, is connecting yourself with the divine, connecting yourself with your true inspiration, your true desires. This is why the spirit is connected with fire. What do you desire in life? What inspires you in life? Start acting on those things. If you want to be a painter, right? Because some people say, "Hey, I want to be a painter," but that's not realistic because it doesn't bring in enough money. And let me tell you something, guys. Any skill set that you have can make you a millionaire. That's a fact. Okay. If you put your energy in there good enough, okay, any skill set, I don't care what skill set it is, any skill set that you have, any true desire that you have can make you a millionaire. Okay. But again, you got to have that faith. See, most people, they only think with that logical mind saying, okay, this is not going to make enough money, so I need to go to school to be a doctor, and that's not what you want to do. So now you're neglecting your spirit. Okay, you're neglecting your spirit. How are you going to rise spiritually if you're neglecting your spirit? Okay, you got to remember this, guys. You're neglecting your spirit if you're not doing what you love to do. You're neglecting your spirit if you're not sharing your inspiration with others. If you're only focused on yourself, you're neglecting spirit. You're not spiritual at all. You're actually more egotistical. So it's funny because a lot of these spiritual people are so egotistical. Because remember, the ego is the self-preservation, sense of self. Okay, that's what the ego is. Let's be real. Let's get it. Let's get deep into this, guys. I'm glad you got it. Thank you everybody for this still with me right now, because this is about to get interesting. The ego is your sense of self. The ego wants you to be by yourself. The ego wants you to only focus on your path and focus on only on your business, because that's what the ego wants you to do. If ego only wants you to focus on your meditation, why do you think I posted that last video? Guys, check out my last video of the little animation. It's not mine, it's by Headspace. The little animation about the meditation, talking about impatience. There's the last video I posted. After this, after we get off, I want you guys to watch that because there's a big lesson in there. But it's very, very simple, but it's a big lesson in there. You only want to be focused on your spiritual path. You want to stay behind closed doors all day. You only want to focus on you know what you're doing. You're neglecting spirit. You're not spiritual at all. You're ego. Okay. A lot of people don't know that. That's because they don't know astrology. This is why you gotta study everything. Okay. Okay. Let me look at some of these questions. I'm sorry, guys. I've been neglected. Okay. Can you transmute the negative aspects in your chart? Emeralds of wisdom. Yes, of course. Great question. Okay. You can because again, your natal chart is a map for you to see. Because without your natal chart, most of the time you're running on autopilot. Only because only because society has you distracted by so many things. Social media, um, TV, jobs. All right. Everybody's distracted. So that means most people are on autopilot. This is why I said in today's time and also in future times, astrology is going to become very, very important. It's very, very important right now. Okay. Aquarius rules astrology. This is why it's going to become more important because now you need self discovery because you need to pull your own weight in this life. We're coming out of the age of Pisces where everybody was passive, everybody was relying on the government. Everybody's relying on this and that, the presidents and stuff. This shit had nothing to do with your spiritual path. It's about you pulling your own weight now with the age of Aquarius. So this is why Aquarius rules astrology because now you can learn your capabilities, your weaknesses, your strengths. Acknowledge the weaknesses, put all your energy in your strengths. Okay, some of you have no idea what you want to do in life, right? You need the astrology reading the most because I can point you in that direction and now you can try things, try new things. Okay, you wondering why you have anxiety, you wondering why you have depression. It's because you're neglecting things. Okay, you're neglecting things. So if you have a big weakness in your chart, emeralds of wisdom, if you have a big weakness in your chart, right? Now you can look at it and now you can move accordingly. So yes, you can change those aspects. All right. But what's going to happen though is if you don't know yourself, you're going to fall into the same cycle over and over again. Why do you think there's a zodiac wheel telling you that you go in a cycle? But remember, even the Buddhists tell you can come out of that cycle if you know thyself. The easiest way to know thyself is with the astrology chart. Of course, you can go the other route, the Buddhism, the Hinduism route, right? And work on yourself for years and years and years. But again, we live in a fast-paced society now. This is why astrology is becoming more and more important. We live in the society is getting faster and faster. A lot of people don't have time to go to the mountains for for 10 months and try to learn themselves. And a lot of times it's longer than that. Now, back in the days, back in ancient times, we did. We did have that time, but now society's moving faster. And guess what, guys? You have to change with the times. Those who don't change with the times, those who don't make their evolution get tossed off the boat. That's just how life goes. Okay. So LA, you're asking, how do you heal your heart so you can feel love again? Do I have to change my beliefs so I don't have limitations anymore? LA, were you hurt by somebody? Is that why you feel like you don't feel love again? Answer that for me, please. Carl, Barbara, try drinking more juice. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you for that wisdom, Carl. Okay. Okay. What if you're a spiritual person and suffering from anxiety? You want to put your gifts out there, but stuck by anxiety. Um, okay. So it's good because we're talking about this right now. All right. Because anxiety comes from suppression. Okay. Again, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar, all these things comes from suppression. Now some of you guys might say, hold on, there's children that come There's children they you know, fresh out the womb and they have some kind of issue, right? That's because it comes from the mother. Remember, whatever your mother is feeling and suppressing while she's pregnant gets transmuted to the child. Okay? Transmuted to the child. This is very, very important. Why do they think, why do you think in spiritual circles they tell the pregnant woman to relax? They treat her like a queen because they realize that the baby inside of her is going to be connected to all the frequencies that she's feeling. Okay. But we have in today's time, we have girls, ladies that want to go to the gym while they're pregnant, putting strain on their adrenal glands. What do you think that's doing to the child? They're drinking soda, they're out still, you know, going to work, get stressed out at work. All these things are getting transmuted to the child. Okay. Transmuted to the child. Okay. So anxiety, bandit bandana. Yes, it can come from the adrenal glands, but a lot of times it's not even physical. Okay. A lot of times it's not physical. This is why these people who've had anxiety, they didn't tried every herb, tried every pill, you right? And it's still not working, right? How many of you who have anxiety have tried all the herbs, tried all the meditations, all that good stuff, and it's still not working? That's because it's not always physical. A good portion of the time, 80% of the time, it's not physical. It's higher up. Okay. Now remember, guys, that the physical is not the cause of anything. The physical is always the effect. Okay. So what does this mean? Remember the four worlds. The physical realm is all the way at the bottom. Okay. The physical is all the way at the bottom. All right. The spirit is all the way at the top. In between, we have physical, we have emotional, mental. So you can create diseases because of mental issues, because or emotional issues. Again, why do you think they call it getting your heart broken? Right? Because literally, if you've been in a situation where you get your heart broken by a friend or a lover and you let that soak, you'll create a disease. Okay. Yes, the physical, but yes, that's what I'm saying. The physical, but the physical is the effect. Bandit bandana. That's what I'm saying. So you know, no, in order again, look at the four worlds. I'm gonna break it down again. All right. Uh we're gonna break this down. We're gonna break frequency down, guys, because physical is at the bottom. The next one up is emotional. The next one up is mental. The next one up is spiritual. Energy trickles down. Okay. This is why they say as above, so below, right? Because whatever is above trickles down to the physical realm. So the physical realm is the effect, not the cause. Or you see what I'm saying? Does this make sense? I'm pretty sure you've heard this, all right? But if you haven't, it's totally fine because again, this is all about, you know, doing more research and learning more and stuff. We all learn something new every day, right? But again, um the physical realm is not the cause of anything. These are all effects from higher frequencies. Okay. So this is why no, like I said, sometimes it is physical, like the adrenal glands, like you did bring up, which is very, very important. Okay, because the adrenal glands are responsible for your flight or fight response. All right. But there's a reason why people have been taking these herbs and stuff, because there's a ton of people that come to me for consultations for anxiety, and they'll go down the line. I've been taking this herb, I've been doing this meditation, I've been doing this, and that, and I still have anxiety. That lets you know that it's not physical; it's from a higher frequency. All right. So what you're saying is correct. All right, but you just got to remember, a good 80% of the time is not physical. A good 80%, a good 80% of the time, it has to do with a connection with another individual. It has to do with self-esteem. Has to deal with depression. Um, because anxiety springs from depression. Again, this is why I tell people to study psychology. Excuse me, guys. I'm about to open these windows again. This is why I tell people you got to study psychology. You got to study other things. You can't just study one thing. Okay. Because in psychology, they'll tell you that anxiety springs out of depression. Depression is the first stage. Okay. Now, most people might not even know that they're depressed. All right. You might not even know that you're depressed because you're so distracted. Okay. So then when you're depressed for a long period of time, it evolves into anxiety. All right. LA, what I mean by connection with another person, let's just say um you've been mentally abused by somebody for a long period of time. Let's just say one of your parents or something like that. That transforms into depression. That depression transforms into anxiety. This is all psychology. I'm not even talking about spirituality right now. Okay. So, or you're in a toxic relationship, right? Sometimes if you cut the toxicity out of your life, your anxiety will heal up. So this is for the people where the herbs are not working. The herbs and meditations are not working. It's letting you know that's not where the problem lies. Yes, bandit bandana. It's all about frequency. You're absolutely right. It's all about frequency. But remember, you can't raise your frequency if you're in a depressed state. So you got to find out what's the cause of the depression so you can raise your frequency. You know what I mean? Like if you're in anxiety, if you're constantly feeling anxiety, that means you're in a low vibration. So in order to get to a higher vibration, you got to find out what's the cause of the anxiety. You got to find out what's the cause of depression. You got to find out what's the cause of you wanting to shield yourself away from other human beings, because that's a disease too. You know, they say, "Oh, I hate people. I can't be around people. I just want to be by myself." That's a disease. They just haven't named it yet. Well, I mean, you can say that's depression too, actually, to be honest. Okay. Crispy Bot, you're saying, why do I keep attracting why do I keep attracting liars in my love life? They lie about where they work and all sorts of things. So when they tell me they've been abused by um, family members, and I struggle to believe. Um, okay. So you got to what you attract comes from what you give off. All right. You got to remember. Now, let's just say you've been lied to one time in life, right? I was just going over this, so this is good. I was just going over this, right? Where I was saying that you get put into a cycle when you're on autopilot. All right. So what happens is that when you've went through a relationship where it was really, really bad and somebody was lying or they broke your heart or something like that, now you have a negative connotation in your mind about relationships. Okay. So what happens is you tend to expect, even in the way it's worded, why do I keep attracting liars in my life? One of my last videos, 2 videos ago, I was explaining about how to ask questions because your questions create your reality. So you want to reframe that question, right? Because you're asking, why do I keep attracting liars in my life? That question will bring in more liars in your life. All right. What you want to do is reframe how you're thinking about it. You want to say, how can I attract high vibrational people? How can I attract truthful people? Again, your mind, not the brain. Okay, because I know some people are confused by the video I was explaining this. Not the brain. The brain is an instrument for the mind to be used in. Okay, the mind is always working for you, or we can say working against you. Okay, so you want to reframe how you're looking at things, Crispy Bot. Okay, you want to say, how can I attract in more truthful individuals? Don't say, why do I keep attracting bull crap people? Because guess what? Now your mind is going to search for those answers and you're going to keep getting those answers. Why do you think you're in a cycle? Okay. We can talk about the throat chakra bandit bandana, but that's not even needed. Not that far. And plus, that's the individual's communication, not the communication of somebody else. Your throat chakra is connected to your communication. Okay, if we're talking about somebody else's communication, we got to get into we got to get into astrology. We got to get into the seventh house in astrology. All right. Again, this is why you have to learn everything. All right. But so reframe your questions, Crispy Bot, and self-analyze yourself. Because again, this is coming from you. There's a reason why they keep coming towards you. All right. There's a reason why. But only you can find that out. But like I said, analyzing yourself with a diary. All right. Get a diary, right, Crispy Bot? At the end every day, write down. I want you to be truthful though. I want you to put it all out there. Like nobody's gonna read it. All right. Put it all out there. And I want you to, every time you write something, days later or something like that, I want you to go over what you've written. I want you to see the patterns so then you can step out of the cycle. Because Crispy Bot, guess what? Once you see the cycle, you can step out of it. If you don't see the cycle, you're not going to step out of it. You're going to keep attracting these individuals that lie to you. Okay. But there's a reason why you keep attracting them, but you have to see it in your day-to-day life. You have to look at it. The next relationship you get into, you might want to analyze that relationship by, like I said, having that diary, seeing, being honest. What did you do? What did you say in this? What was the transaction like? Then you'll see the pattern after months and months of doing this, and you're reading through your diaries, right? You'll see the pattern. You'd be like, oh, okay, so I always keep doing this. Now I know I need to get it, not stop doing that and go in a different direction. Let me try another approach. Does this make sense, Crispy Bot? But yeah, it's all coming to your energy. But like I said, once you figure that out, though, you still have to reframe the way you question things, because your mind will find whatever that you desire. So if you say, why do I keep attracting liars in my life? That's an answer that you desire, right? So you'll keep finding that answer. But if you switch it around and say, how can I attract more truthful individuals in my life? Now that you're speaking into existence what you desire. So in life will in return show you how you can attract higher individuals. Okay. It becomes very simple. Like I said, we could talk about the thyroid, but again, that's the individual's communication. That's why it's your thyroid gland, your throat chakra. Okay. So let me see some of these other questions. Does anybody have any questions about this? I'm just seeing if I skipped anybody. Okay. I just want to thank everybody for participating. Thank you, Bandit Bandana. Thank you, LA. Thank you, Crispy Bot. Thank you, Emeralds of Wisdom. Thank you, Oliver Twist. Hopefully, I'm not forgetting anybody. Carl, thank you. Thank you, Wolf Red. Thank you for everybody in the live stream right now. Thank you, Michael DeLon. I appreciate you guys taking this time to learn some stuff. Okay, so yeah, I want to touch back on the shadow self for all the people that are new. Okay, all the people that are new in the live stream. Again, the shadow self. Okay, hold on. Okay, can you direct me to some tangible reference information on how to raise your frequency? Okay, Protege Will. Raising, okay, now, of course, like I said, if you have depression, anxiety problems, you're going to have to find out the reason for that, because you can't raise your frequency if you're depressed or if you have anxiety or you have low self-esteem. But adequate ways, basic ways that you can raise your frequency, of course, exercise, of course, sunlight. It's crazy how a lot of people are not getting a lot of sunlight. Okay, now remember, the darker your skin is, the more sun you need. Okay, so a lot of times people get into low vibrations just because they didn't get enough sun for the day. And taking vitamin D is not going to do it. It's not going to cut it. All right. Yeah, you'll replenish your vitamin D with the supplement, but you need sunlight. Okay, so that's two. Exercise raises your vibration. Sunlight, breathing exercises. Okay, you can look these up on YouTube. You can look up breathing exercises on YouTube. Okay, detoxing the body with herbal supplements will raise your vibration, especially a parasite cleanse. Okay, what else? Uh, oh yeah, hanging out, connecting with other people that have higher frequencies. Okay, if people who are lively, people who are energetic, you want to get around these people. You want to get environments. You want to get in environments with individuals who are happy, who are doing the things that they love to do, who are really energetic. That's the easiest way, because that's how energy works. Whatever environment that you're in, regardless if you're a so-called empath or whatever, because we all take in energy from the environment, just in different ways. Okay, so if you get into an environment, Protege will. If you get into an environment with people who are very high vibrational, and you continue to do this on a consistent basis, you'll take in that energy. And vice versa. If you're constantly in an environment with people who are low vibrational, people who hate people who hate their job, people who are always complaining about their relationships, you'll take this in. Okay, so getting around people who are high vibrational will raise your vibration as well. Okay, also, um, I mean, again, there's so many ways. So I hope even just those will help you a lot. Also, I have, you want to go through my videos, okay? There's a video I have, nice, and I'm breaking down the seven tones for vibration, or I forget the exact name, but Protege will, after this, go through my videos. Again, everything I talk about is about raising frequency and raising your vibration, because that's the main, that's the most important thing. All right, vibration is everything. Remember, nothing is solid, guys. Nothing is solid. It may look solid, but nothing is solid. Everything is movement. So everything is vibration. Okay, remember, this reality is feminine. Reality itself is feminine. This is why it's always moving. Okay, everything is moving. I'm walking and listening to you. Peace, peace. Thank you for tuning in. Right, bandit bandana. This solidity right here, it's just slow moving, but it's still moving. Okay, so you have to realize that everything is vibration. That's the most important thing. So Protege will, that's a great question. And I hope I'll break it down again if you didn't catch it. Like I said, exercise, sunlight, getting around others who are high vibrational. Also, doing the things that you love to do raises your vibration. I can't stress this enough. If you neglect the things that you love, your vibration will go down. Your frequency goes down. There's a reason why you love to do it, whatever that may be. Okay. If you love playing video games, if you love video games, all right, not saying that you become consumed with video games, but make some time out for playing video games. Regardless of what anybody else got to say, this has nothing to do with anybody else. Your vibration, I mean, what you love to do has nothing to do with anybody else. Okay, doing the things that you love. So if you really enjoy playing video games, of course you want to schedule it. You don't want to become consumed, because some people become consumed with stuff like that, right? They become totally consumed, and next thing you know, you're spending hours and hours, playing the video games, right? Well, guess what? Sitting in front of electronics too long actually lowers your vibration too. Okay, even if it's a computer like this one, sitting in front of the computer for hours and hours, this takes energy from you. This is why you feel so tired afterwards. Okay, but you want to schedule a time. Let's just say you say, hey, today I'm gonna schedule an hour of my time today because I deserve it. You deserve it. If you've been working, you've been living this life. Life is hard. You deserve it. You deserve to play some video games if you want to. Okay? Sit down and say, I'm gonna do this for an hour. I'm gonna have the best time of my life. Guess what? Your frequency raises. This is why you get so happy. Okay. If you even if you like, like you like buying clothes, some people just like buying things, right? But you don't want to become consumed by it. Here's the thing. You don't want to become consumed by it, guys. You want to schedule, you want to structure yourself. You say, hey, this week I have a little bit of extra money. All my bills are paid. Everything is taken care of. I have some play money. I want to go out shopping, right? Because it makes me feel good. Okay. That's a clear sign if you're in a high vibration or not. How do you feel right now? Everybody should ask, everybody in the chat room, ask that question to yourself. You don't have to type it in the chat or anything. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? If you don't feel like energetic, happy, up, vibrant, that means you're low vibration right now. Because you might say, I don't know how I feel right now. That's still low vibration. If you're not feeling If you're not feeling happy, energetic, awake, you're not in a high vibration. Okay. Mr. Brown, you're saying, I love to make beats and draw. Good. I like to make beats too. That's what I love to do. I tell people what I love to do. I love it so much that I go to school for music. Because there's some people, oh, don't go to college and stuff like that. Don't waste your time at college. Don't waste your time and your money at college. Okay. Do the things that you want to love, that you love to do. So that means if you don't know what you want to do, don't go to college just to go to college. Right? Take your time. I'm 28 years old. I just started going to college last year. Okay. But I love making beats too, my brother. I love music. I love mixing and mastering. That's what I go to school for, mixing and mastering music and audio production and stuff. Okay. Great. Me too. I'm in sound engineering, same thing. So, that's something that you want to continue doing. All right, drawing too. Draw. Make sure you take time out to draw. This is going to raise your frequency. Bandit bandana, same thing. Drawing and music. Make sure you take time to do this. This is the fastest, or along with hanging out with people who are high vibrational, this is another one of the fastest ways to raise your vibration too. Okay. Of course, what you eat, you want to eat more electric foods too, as well. This raises your vibration. What I mean by electric foods is raw foods, raw fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Okay. Raw fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Especially if they're organic and they've been in the sun, because the sun's energy, you know, the sun's energy is in these foods, and this is why you consume them. Okay. So if they're raw, you get more electricity that raises your vibration. Okay. I'm not telling you to go raw vegan or anything, but guess what? Some people will tell you once they went raw, they started getting all this energy they're happy. Now, I'm not even raw vegan. Okay. But it's funny. I started out as raw vegan. All right. I'm just regular vegan now, but I eat a lot of raw foods though. Even if you're not vegan or vegetarian, just make sure you incorporate a lot of raw foods in your diet. You're going to raise your frequency. So if all you eat is cooked food and all you eat is meat and potatoes and, and processed everything, guess what's going to happen to your energy? Okay. Energy is low. You become very passive. This is why a lot of people in today's time are so passive. We need to be active. Okay, start working on your dreams. Everybody, all the people that said that music and all that, right? That's what you love to do. Guess what? You can make a career out of that. I don't care what nobody else got to say. You can make a career out of that. All right. You don't have to work a job that you don't love to do. Because guess what? When you're working at a job that stresses you out, energy. All right. This is why I'm offering this session on how to make money from home. So all you do is set it up. Then you have all this time. Okay. You have all this time to yourself so you can learn yourself. So you can, when I first started, these marketing techniques and stuff like this, again, it's not surveys, it's not pyramid schemes, anything. This is real stuff, okay? Real marketing, social media marketing, and affiliate marketing, all these things. I'll give you multiple different things, multiple different streams of income in one session. Okay. For those of you know Ty Lopez, I bought his course. It cost $1,000. Then same thing with Anthony Morrison. I bought his course on how to make money from home. That was $1,000. $2,000 on this information, and I was selling it for $120. Okay. That's a great deal, right? But when I first started, though, again, I'll tell you guys my story. When I first started, I was working two jobs. I was a cashier at a dollar store. That was my first job. And I also was mopping floors at I was mopping floors at a retirement home. Okay. My vibration was very low because I hated both of these jobs. Okay. I hated both of them. You know, I'm more creative. I need to speak to people. Why do you think that I do what I do now? Because I love to speak to people. I love to speak on knowledge. I like to read things and then talk to people about it and have conversations. That's what I love to do too. Why do you think you see what I'm doing? I do music because that's what I love to do. I love speaking. I love creating. Um, you know, I love communicating and I love knowledge and I love talking about knowledge. These are two things that I do. I don't do anything else. All right. Unless, like I say, you might have to do something you don't want to do if it's on the road to getting to where you want to be at. So that's the difference. But if you're just doing something just to do it because it makes a lot of money or, whatever, guess what's going to happen to your energy? Because even if you're doing something that you don't love to do, but if in your mind you know your goal, your frequency is not going to go down because you're like, I got to do this to reach my goal. Okay. So you're saying I create and sell healing frequencies. Bandit band. Here's another thing, guys. I'm Bandit Bandana. I'm glad you brought this up. Because what I want to do too, everybody who is an entrepreneur, everybody who does something, okay, everybody who does anything, I want you to, I want to promote your services on my channels. So starting the next video, I meant to say that in my last video, but starting in my next video, in the beginning of every video, I'm gonna shout somebody out and I'm gonna have a link to their website or whatever it is that they do. And I want to shout you out in the beginning, of every video. So any of you guys out there, Bandit Bandana, you say you sell and heal, you create and sell healing frequencies. Anybody else who does anything, you draw, you paint, or whatever, I want you to, comment, in the comment section of one of my videos or something like that. Comment, have your information sent. Say I do this. I draw, and here's my website. Okay. So what I'll do is in my next video, I'll say, hey, shout out to such and such. He does this and this and that. Here's his website. You guys go to that, and then I'll get started in my video because that's what I want to do. Because I want to inspire entrepreneurship because this is what it's about now. Like I said, these corporations is dying, guys. It's time. Like I said, these corporations is dying. It's about to be all these little government things that are helping people out. They're about to start dying. Because you're going to have to pull your own weight now. You're going to have to build skill sets now. Okay. You're going to have to build skill sets now, guys. I'm trying to be a realist. Though I'm a spiritual individual, you see, I balance it out by being a realist at the same time, saying that, yeah, it's entrepreneurship now. So any of you who has a business or has, something that they sell or something, make sure you have a website though. Okay. If you don't have a website, you gotta get that started, man. Like you gotta get that started. Get yourself a website, or get yourself a YouTube channel. Because right now I'm still, again, I've had my website. Guys that have been following me for a long period of time, I've had my website, right? Then I went through the situation where I got hacked, and now I'm rebuilding everything. Same thing with my social media. For those of you guys, follow my social media. It's still new. I still haven't posted anything yet, but I will be posting some heavy knowledge on my social media too. My website's coming. But yeah, so whatever you sell, crystal jewelry, you sell herbs, you make herbs, whatever, you do music, you do art, you do astrology readings like me, tarot reading. I just promoted somebody not too long ago who does tarot readings because I want everybody to win. Just because I do tarot readings doesn't mean I'm not going to shout you out for doing tarot readings. If you do tarot readings or astrology readings or something like that, I will shout you out and I'll say, hey, check this individual out. Okay. But remember, so we can all exchange, because there's some people saying, they don't want to exchange nothing. Well, again, you're gonna have a hard time being an entrepreneur because being an entrepreneur is you're gonna have to put up a lot of money up front, a lot of time and energy up front. All right. But like I said, I created this session that made it easy for you guys to let you know everything that I do on the side for income. Because here's the thing, guys. I had to learn this again. I had to spend my money, my $2,000 on those courses. Not only that, I had to go through trial and error to learn how to make substantial income. All online. Like I said, no surveys, no pyramid schemes, no nothing. But I created this session that can teach you how to have all these multiple streams of income and have them automated. All right, have them automated so you can focus on the things that you love to do. Okay, because me and my team, we pull in about $13,000 a month. All right, now that's just the stuff that I do online. All right, it's between 6 of us, but still, our efforts pull in between around there, between $13,000 a month between the 6 of us because we all put in that effort. Okay, so now, like I said, I have a lot of my stuff automated, so that's how I'm able to focus on my music and focus on doing consultations for you guys and speaking with you guys and helping you guys out. Okay. So again, if you want that how to make money from home session, emails in the description, occulthealing22@gmail.com. You make your payment. I send you the session right away. It's 2 hours long. It's an MP3. You listen to it, take notes. Okay. Yes, I do have the course, Soul Fire 89. All right. It's the how I have the how to make money from home course. All right. It's an MP3, 2 hours long. Okay. I break down everything that I do to make that what they call it? They call it passive income, to make that passive income. But yes, you do have to work and set it up in the beginning, but it's well worth it when you have it automated and now you have streams of income just coming in so you can focus on what you want to do. In Soul Fire, I said how I learned this. I learned it. The first course I got was Ty Lopez's course, social media marketing. It costs $1,000. Then I got a course from Anthony Morrison, how to make money from home, $1,000. So $2,000, guys, I spent on that information. But I made my money well over because I just told you guys that me and my team, 6 of us, we pull in around $13,000 a month. Okay, and I'm not even including my consultations and the things that I do for music too. That's not even included. This is just the passive income from those 2 courses that I've learned and through trial and error. Okay, and I'm giving it remember $2,000, right, that I spent on the courses, right, and then about 6 years of getting it right, because of course in the beginning I didn't get it right. So all that time and effort, all right, all I did was combine it all for you, tell you exactly how I do it. 2 hours long, MP3. You make your payment, I send it right to you. Okay, I was only charging $120. So again, look at the difference: $2,000. Right? 6 years of work, with trial and error, and I'm giving it to you guys for $120. Okay. B4B, of course. Yes, I still do tarot. I still do tarot readings. I still do astrology readings. I still do detox sessions. Um, I have the hypnosis session that I created for you guys that will create your own reality. Again, all this you can contact me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email is in the description of this video, guys, and you can contact me for that. Okay, any of those things. All right, um, but again, when you have your income right, when you have your income together, because again, it's still tying into your shadow self and these mental issues, because again, you're suppressing things. Okay, you're suppressing things. So this frees you up to focus on yourself. If you have passive income coming in, right? If you have this passive income coming in, when it turns, I just got one question in mind. When it turns my, when it, okay, so I got one question. When it's my turn. Um, yeah, ask if you have a question, please ask a question. Okay. But again, when you have this time, because that's what we're fighting for, right? That's what we're fighting for, guys. We're not fighting. See, we're trying to get money, but we're really trying to get time because that's what we're really after. It's not the money. Remember, money is a tool. That's why I said don't focus. Don't just be so confused about the paper. Okay. It's not about that. It's about you transaction. It's about a transaction between you and another person so you can get time. This is why Robert Kiyosaki, all right, the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, what did he say about people who work in exchange time? He said that's not a smart thing to do. Okay. This is Robert Kiyosaki's saying. Okay. So what is he saying? 9 to 5 jobs are not a good thing to do because you're exchanging time for money. But what's the thing? You're trying to get the money for time. So what happens? You're in a cycle. Okay, you're in a cycle where you're running in you're like a hamster running in the wheel when you have a 9 to 5, unless it's something that you love to do. So if it's something that you love to do, like if you're making beats, right? If you're making beats and that's your job, you're doing what you love to do, so that you're not, it's not about time. All right, but let's just say you're trying to become an entrepreneur and you're working at McDonald's right now just to get some money. Again, going about it the wrong way because you're exchanging your time for money when you should be exchanging your money for time. I hope this is making sense, guys. This is why it's about entrepreneurship. Okay. 9 to 5, that is. And like I said, unless it's something that you or love to do, like I said, if you make beats or you like drawing and that's your job, there you go. Okay. So so when you're at your job, your shadow self is being suppressed too. Some people need to move. Like if you work at a computer job, right? When you're sitting in front of a computer all the time and you're itching, you need to like you're stressing out and stuff. It's because you need to move. You need fresh air. You need to travel. When you're an entrepreneur, you can travel and still make money. You can go to Hawaii and say, you know what, I'm about to take a trip to Hawaii. I could do that right now because look, everything that I do is offline. Even my music stuff, I mix and master music for people online, right? And then I also do consultations and these videos online. All right. Um, so I can pretty much do this anywhere in the world. And I do travel a lot. But this is the thing that I want you guys to do because sometimes that shadow self, again, this is where the mental issues spring from, right? Unless it came from birth and then that came from your mother. So if you were born like with schizophrenia, like at a young age, you thought you had schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or whatever that's coming from your mother. Okay, when your mother is pregnant with you, whatever she's feeling, all the stress, all the chemicals she's taking in gets transmuted to the child. Okay, and not only that, but the trauma you experience when you're born, when you're born in a hospital and they yank you out, stick you with needles, and stuff like that. It's cold, bright lights and stuff. It's not healthy. That creates trauma in the child. So a lot of us has a shadow self that is traumatized straight from birth. Okay. You're wondering why people going through so much. People are so hurt and stuff. From birth, you're traumatized. You're yanked out of your mother. Nobody should even be touching you besides your mother when she's giving birth to you. For the first couple days, nobody should even be touching you. Okay? Not even the father, except for your mother. Your mother should be, they shouldn't, and then they cut the umbilical cord, they cut the connection right away. The umbilical cord is supposed to fall off naturally because you're supposed to be connected to your mother for the first, for the beginning stages of your life. Not yanked out, needles stuck in you, getting circumcised for the males and stuff, getting cut up. It's crazy. But again, I don't want to put you guys in that negative mind frame. But I'm just trying to make you understand trauma. I'm trying to make you understand the shadow self. I'm trying to make you understand mental conditions, mental issues. Because guess what, guys? It's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? You can fix this. Because guess what? Those doctors and stuff, those people around you telling you there's something wrong with you all the time is lowering your vibration. Now you're in a cycle you can never get out. Because yes, you might have these issues, right? But because you're in a low vibration and low confidence, low energy, you can't get out of it. So now you're just in a cycle. It's just breeding and breeding and breeding. Okay? Well, guess what? This is why I said, this is why, you have individuals here. Yes, I know there's some bad people in the world, but guess what? There's some good people. I just told you guys I want to help you out. Anybody who has anything that they do, any kind of side projects, any kind of entrepreneurship, any kind of their own business, put those in the comments of my videos so I can shout you out in the beginning of every video. Starting from my next video I do, I want to shout somebody out. I want to have a link to your website or your social media in my description so I can tell people what to do so you can get your income up, so you can start feeling better about yourself. Right? So if you do have a shadow self that needs to buy things, right? But remember, be structured. You can handle that. Okay? Or if you do have a shadow self that needs attention, right? Physical attention, sexual attention. This is why, again, the shadow self turns into something like being addicted to sex, right? No, that just means you have a lot of energy. Be proud of your sexuality. Don't be scared of your sexuality. Be proud of your sexuality. You need more attention. But guess what? Most of the time, you're at work. You're distracted by all these things and you're not getting the attention that you desire, that you deserve. Like I said, if you're living life right now, you just living, you're doing work. It's hard work. Just breathing. You deserve it. Okay? If you want to go out and have a drink, again, this is why I'm a cultist. I'm not one of these regular spiritual people who tell you, oh man, stay away from everything. Be afraid of everything. Be scared of everything. I say it's time to step up. Yeah, these things have happened to us. We've been traumatized at birth. We've been poisoned. We've been programmed and hypnotized. Well, guess what? That's not going to stop us, is it? Starting today, that's not going to stop you, is it? Get to know yourself, learn yourself, know thyself. This is the first step. You see? This is number one, first step in the tarot, the magician. Know thyself. You can overcome anything. You can change your reality. Okay, I'm giving you the lessons on how to, like with the astrology readings, you can learn yourself, know your weaknesses and know your strengths, know your abilities, your hidden abilities. Some of you have so many hidden abilities and you're not using them. Some of you don't know what you're giving off to others, and in return, you're wondering why you get these things back from people. Okay? You're wondering why you get this negativity back from people. You got to understand what you give off. Okay? You got to understand what you're capable of so you can start getting on your path. The tarot readings, like I said, the tarot readings help you out with day-to-day life things. I have clients that get weekly tarot card readings. And it actually helps them, puts them in the right direction. Okay. Also, the detox, learning how to detox the body correctly. Because, yes, there's a lot of information out there, and people are detoxing it wrong and actually messing their organs up even more. There's a certain way the ancients taught us how to cleanse our body. All I did was studied it for so long, and then I teach people how to really detox their body correctly. So, you can actually start reaping the benefits. Also, like I said, the hypnosis session that comes with a PDF action planner. It's not a regular hypnosis session you can just find on YouTube. Okay, that's why they're free, because there's not too much effort put into them things, and that's why they don't work for you guys. How many of you guys? I know some people who listen to those who listen to those hypnosis sessions every single day, and the reality still doesn't change. Why? Because you get what you pay for, guys. Remember that. There always has you get what you pay for. There's a reason why it's not working for you, because there's not that much effort into it. Now, guarantee you this. You go to one of their websites, they have hypnosis sessions that you got to pay for, because those are the real ones. Those are the ones that really change, because they put a lot of effort into it. They put a lot of time and energy into it. Whatever you put time and energy and sweat, blood, and tears, you're not going to give out for free. Okay? Because that will be a disservice to you. And I'm talking to all you entrepreneurs out there in here too. Right? You deserve your compensation, because you put your blood, sweat, and tears in what you do. Okay, you put your blood and sweat and tears in what you do. If you've never been an entrepreneur before, then you might not understand that, what it means to be that. Literally, you're taking a risk every single day, but guess what? You're going to find those benefits if you truly believe and truly put yourself out there, and you give a genuine service, you give genuine energy. Guess what? You're going to reap those benefits back. And it's going to feel so good to you. Your energy is going to skyrocket. Your vibration is going to skyrocket, because you're going to be like, yes, I'm controlling my destiny now. I'm controlling it. Like I said, the how to make money from home session that I have for you guys. Okay. Teaching you multiple streams of income. All you do is put in that work in the beginning. You got to put in that work and that discipline. Okay. In the beginning. And then once you have it set up, you're free. All right. You might want to get some partners to help you out. Like I said, I have 6 partners. You pull in around $13,000 a month, because I understand the importance of others. And guess what? My partners are total opposites from me, because they're strong in my weaknesses. You see what I'm saying? The women that I deal with in my life are strong in my weaknesses. That's how you operate, because now we're operating at a higher level. If you think like that, understand your shadow self, everybody. Is it sexual urges? Is it spending money? Is it stimulants? What I mean by stimulants is weed, alcohol, psychedelics, whatever it is. Is it anger? Is it there's so many, we can go down the line, right? You wanna find this out. Now again, if you have trouble finding this out, the astrology chart can show you by showing you where Pluto is in your houses. Okay? Wherever Pluto is at, that's showing you your shadow self, where you can destroy yourself, but also rebuild yourself. I already gave 2 examples earlier about having your Pluto in the 2nd house and having your Pluto in the 1st house. Okay. Since somebody just said something about the 7th house, Pluto in the 7th house, right? This is your connection with other people. Most likely, Pluto in the 7th house people let people abuse them all the time. Let people take advantage of them all the time. Okay, because you want to give. Okay, Brittany, any questions? You can ask any questions, and I'll feel free. I will answer all questions. This is, yes, we're talking about the shadow self and mental issues, but this is a Q&A. Any questions you have, you feel free to ask them, and I will answer them. Okay, so 7th house, you let people abuse you, because you know, your shadow self is a little bit different because guess what? It's just as negative if you let people take advantage of you as if you're somebody who likes to take advantage of others. The same karma, the same bad karma, guys. This is why you have to walk the middle path. You can't just give, and give and not receive anything. You're gonna get bad karma, and you can't just take, and take without giving anything because you're gonna get bad karma. You got to know when you got to know when to take and you got to know when to give. Okay? Simple, plain, period. So anybody in this chat room that has Pluto in the seventh house, that's to you. You can't let people abuse you. But it's good that you want to give. It's good that you want to give yourself. But you're letting people taking advantage of you and stuff. So yeah. So Brittany, yeah, any questions? Any questions, guys, about the shadow self, mental issues? Because I do want to talk about schizophrenia too. Because somebody asked a question about schizophrenia. Now, there's two different forms of schizophrenia, okay, guys? Um, because it's a deep topic. Because what is schizophrenia, right? If you hear things that other people don't hear, you see so-called see things that other people don't see, right? A lot of times, these are individuals that have spiritual gifts, but just don't have those people around them to let them know. So what happens? They get put on medication. Medication destroys your body and your mind. So this is why you see some of these schizophrenic people and they look sick and horrible and beaten down. All that medication. Okay. Um, but again, this comes from suppressing that. Remember, I was saying suppressing stuff. You got to let it out. You got to let yourself flow and be free. But again, a lot of them, it's not their fault because they're ignorant to the situation. They're ignorant to their own talents. So remember, other talents can cause the same actions. Okay. Now there's another kind of schizophrenia. We're talking about the extreme, because there's two different ones. We're talking about extreme schizophrenia. That's linked with demonic possession because yes, there is a such thing as demonic possession, guys. It's just not like what they show you on movies. It's over exaggerated, but even addictions, demonic possession, it's two kinds. You know, it's two different types. There's extreme ones where you're like completely gone and off your stuff. All right, I just want to put that out there. Okay, so Brittany, stellium in my third house. Should I do rituals to the planet Mercury? Well, what you want to do, Brittany, is you want to find out the planet that you're ruled by. Okay. You want to find out the planet that you're ruled by. Now, of course, again, the only way you're going to find out the planet that you're ruled by is with astrology session, because again, the free astrology websites don't give you all the information. Okay. And those descriptions, I want to say this again, those descriptions, when you get those free websites, when you type in your information in those free websites for astrology, yeah, you want to look at so you can see your placements, right? You don't want to look at the descriptions. Descriptions are always wrong. Okay? I'm letting you know now. You will be misinformed by the descriptions. All right. But Brittany, the planet you want to do rituals for is the planet that you're ruled by. Okay, because that's the most important planet. Now, yeah, having that in your third house, that is something, but you know, anything dealing with unless it's a planet that you're specifically trying to work with, to gain something out of. But as far as just realigning yourself, Brittany, you want to do that with the planet that you're ruled by. Okay. So, Brittany, if you're interested in an astrology reading with me, again, my email is occulthealing22@gmail.com, and the email is in the description of this video. George Thackeray, what's up, my brother? So you're asking if the voices know you are against them, they nice, take control of them and ban them in all your favor. Yes, I always tell people Brittany, what do you mean by Mercury rules everything in your chart? I'm not understanding what you mean by that. One planet can't rule everything in your chart. Okay. This is why you have every planet, you know. Let me know exactly what you mean by that, okay? Because I'm not sure I'm understanding, because Mercury can't rule every aspect of your chart. Okay. You have to look at your houses. If your first house is ruled by if your first house is ruled by Leo, that means your first house is ruled by the sun. Second house is ruled by Cancer, that means your second house is ruled by the moon. You see what I'm saying? All right, so George, you're saying, what about Pluto in the fifth house? Oh yeah, we've talked about this. Remember that fifth house, is the party house, right? That fifth house is the house of fun. Okay, so the shadow self, your shadow self, George, you need to experience some kind of like fun and creativity is important to you, or it will destroy you. Because like I was saying before in one of our consultations, George, I was saying that it can turn in, you can turn into the individual where you're secluding yourself from fun activity, from going out with friends, from experiencing sexual transactions with individuals, right? You can seclude yourself from that, and then it becomes, you're suppressing it. It becomes bigger and bigger, bigger. Well, guess what? When you do finally come out, it explodes. All right, and you wind up destroying yourself in these matters where it could be the person who gets, goes overboard with the alcohol, goes overboard with the stimulants, goes overboard with the fun, and literally plummets and destroys themselves. So you have to balance it out. You have to structure your life in a way where you're going out every once in a while and you're experiencing some kind of fun. It could be anything. It could be going out to parties with your friends. It could be going to amusement parks with other people. But again, this is something that you need when you have Pluto in the fifth house, because that's what the fifth house rules. Again, getting attention from the opposite sex also is ruled by the fifth house. So this is very, very important. You don't want to try to suppress these urges within yourself. Okay, that's what your shadow self needs. All right, but you have to learn how to structure it and control it. So good question. So Brittany, does that make sense what I was saying about Mercury? You have to find out what rules your whole entire, what planet rules your whole entire chart. Okay. Okay, I woke up August 1st. I'm learning to dance with my shadows. Any advice? What do you mean by I'm not sure what you mean by dancing with my shadows. Break that down for me so I can understand it a little bit better. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Even if it's not on the topic of the shadow self and mental issues concerning that. Any other questions? Okay. Again, I'm doing this to interact with you guys, and see what's on your mind. Now, for anybody that's new in the chat, I'll say it again. Starting with my next video, I want to shout people out who have businesses or who have things that they sell. Okay. So if you have your own business, if you're selling something, if you have a service, if you have a side project, if you draw, do whatever, you do music, what I want you to do is put that in the comments of my videos. Okay. So I can shout you out and have a link, have a link to your website or your social media so people can check you out. Again, I want to build everybody up. We're all entrepreneurs. We all do things. So those of you in the chat room who have things that they love to do, who haven't started yet, well, here, especially if it's connected to something spiritually, you have an audience here with all of us. I'll purchase something from you. Again, it's all about equal exchange. I'm just the person conducting this, but guess what? I'll learn from you guys too. I'll buy services from you guys. I'll connect with you guys. Let's work together. That's what it's really about, right? That's what the Age of Aquarius is about. It's about working together. all as individuals. We're all pulling our own weight. Like I do this, right? I do the astrology readings, tarot reading, and even if you do astrology readings, tarot readings too, like I said, I'll still promote you. I'll tell people to check you out. Okay. Speaking of that, George in here, George is one of my students. He's going to be doing astrology readings and tarot readings soon. Okay, George Stackride, right in the chat right now. He's going to be doing astrology readings and tarot readings soon. He's one of my students. We've been working together for a while now, and I will be promoting his stuff too. You know, so everybody, you guys, if you have something that you do, I want to promote it for you. Okay. In the comments of you can put that in the comments of my videos. Okay, say, hey, my name is such and such. I do this, this, and that. Here's a link to my website, or here's a link to my social media. Unless you guys have done a consultation with me, okay? So if you did a consultation with me, or you've got one of my sessions, or you're going to get a consultation or get one of my sessions, we can do it that way too. So we'll look at some of these questions. All right, Sun, Moon, Venus, all third house. So it's worth knowing. So that's what I mean by that. Okay, Brittany, yeah. Okay, so but still, what sign rules your third house? Okay, you gotta remember that. What sign rules your third house, and what signs are on your Sun, Moon, and Venus? Because that's going to change everything. It's just because you have these things in the third house doesn't mean it's going to be connected to Mercury per se. All right. So whatever the sign is ruling your third house will show you the planet that rules your third house, if that makes sense, because every sign is ruled by a planet, right? Then the Sun, Moon, and Venus, you have to look at, all right, what are the signs on the Sun, Moon, and Venus, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, is it the time of day you were born that determines your moon house? Not necessarily. Like if you guys don't know the time you was born, I could still work around that. Okay, I just have to do more work on my part when I do your chart. I'm not going to charge you extra because of that, but you know, I'll work with you. Okay, so again, if you want the astrology reading, occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email is in the description of the video. Okay, so let's see. I often meet men who don't want to spend money on me. I don't understand as I'm generous. Aline Kelly. So again, I guess you're new in the chat because again, this has to do with what you're giving off. Okay, you might give off an aura that you have it all together, like a Capricorn type of aura, because the Capricorn aura, you know, it gives out that I have everything together. You don't need to do anything for me. Okay. Now the same, just like the Cancer aura, you know, it's the opposite where people want to do things for the Cancer. You have to understand what you're giving off, and I want you to reframe the way you look at that too, because again, I was just helping somebody else do it. I want you to reframe how you ask those questions. You want to say, you want to ask yourself, you want to ask your mind from now on, how can I find men that are willing to spend 50-50 with me, right? That are willing to, you know, put up some money. Of course, you don't want, you know, somebody totally giving 100%. You want 50-50. That's what relationships is about. So you want to reframe the way you think about that and way you ask your mind about that. Say, how can I find people that will go 50-50 with me when it comes to income and money? That makes sense. Okay. Canon, 12th house dominant rituals. What do you mean by 12th house dominant? Okay. What do you mean by the 12th house being dominant? Because all the houses are equal. Now, you can be dominant in a planet or a sign or a mode or an element. Okay. Now, I'm guessing you're probably saying you have a lot more planets in your 12th house. Is that what you're saying? Okay, Raj, I am. I track man. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. Okay, Asmore. My friend is an astrologer. Told her if you don't know the time you were born, start at midday. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Brittany, Virgo and Gemini, what? Okay. Most planets in 12th house. So you're saying, Keenan, you're saying you got Sun, Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus. Okay, so you're saying Sun, Neptune, Jupiter, and Uranus in 12th house. Okay. Um, that just means when you have that many planets and you're in, in any house, that means there's a lot of karmic debt, centered around that particular house. Okay. Um, so now we got to talk about what that house rules though. That house rules, first of all, the feminine spirituality, which is yoga, meditation, connecting one with nature. Also, it rules separation because this is the subconscious mind here. The 12th house is your subconscious mind. So this is why they call it the house of separation. All right. So all those planets that you have in there are planets that you can't control. All right. They're like on autopilot. So it feels like you're separated from them. Okay. Which Jupiter back there is kind of bad. I mean, well, it's not bad. It actually kind of, it's just saying that you don't have particular control over there. What's really bad back there is the sun. Okay, because now you have the sun all the way in the back of the chart. Remember, the sun is your ego, your sense of self-preservation, your power. Okay, your power. So what this is saying is that you don't have access to your power willingly. All right, your power is going to come in only in times of need. All right, that's when you get put into a corner or you get into some kind of deep danger. So what you're going to have to do is rituals centered around willpower, centered around you taking charge, centered around your self-esteem. Okay, so this is you want to do rituals centered around your self-esteem. All the other ones, as far as rituals, Neptune, Jupiter, and Uranus, we could talk again. That's a long conversation, but as far as the things that really matter that I can talk about right now, is you definitely want to do a ritual for confidence and self-esteem. Not only that, you want to get crystals like citrine. Okay, citrine is about self-esteem, confidence, income, money, things of that nature. Also, you want to focus, when you're doing meditation, you want to focus on your solar plexus chakra. Okay, you want to build your solar plexus chakra. If you're not familiar with the chakra systems, the solar plexus chakra is the chakra that's around your stomach. Okay, now again, if you want deep explanation, that we can take, an hour or two to really go into, you can set up a consultation with me. Again, coathealing22@gmail.com. The email is in the description of this video. So Brittany, oh, Brian, you're saying you're holding a citrine right now. Powerful, man, powerful. Okay, Sun in Virgo, Moon in Gemini, Venus in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, Chiron in Gemini, Stellium. So that's why I was asking about rituals in the third house for Mercury. Hey, you might just be ruled by Mercury. Okay, so what you want to do, but again, what you want to do though is you want to look up the symbol of Mercury, right? You want to draw that symbol out, Brittany. Draw a Mercury symbol out. Okay. And in your ritual, have Mercury symbol. Again, you're drawing it out, so you're putting your energy into it. Okay, Brittany? You're putting your energy into it. So in even just having that on your wall, like this is my meditation room, guys, for those that are not familiar with this room, because some people ask, like, what are all these things? Like, what is all that on the wall? Like, what is all on the walls and stuff like that? These are all, some of them are affirmations, some of them are symbols and stuff like that. Again, you want to put symbols in your atmosphere because you want to learn about feng shui. Okay, So I might do a video about feng shui sometime soon, okay? But Brittany, what you want to do, look up Mercury symbol, draw it out, okay? And you want to use that for your rituals. All right. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to realign yourself with Mercury's energy, which Mercury has to do with the intellect. Mercury has to do with opening the mind. Mercury has to do with communicating with others. Okay. Another thing, remember, Mercury's day is Wednesday. Today. Today is Mercury Day. On Wednesdays, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on because Mercury is sending you messages. All right. Sending you messages. Another thing is you want to go on YouTube and look up Mercury's mantra. Okay. Recite Mercury's mantra or just listen to it. You're going to get in the vibration with Mercury. So again, you're drawing out Mercury's symbol. You're paying attention to Mercury's day, which is Wednesday. And you're also connecting with Mercury's vibration by repeating its mantra or listening to the mantra. Okay. Go on YouTube, type in Mercury's mantra, listen to it, eventually learn how to say it and recite it yourself. You can recite it every morning. Okay. Or during the ritual, recite the mantra. Okay. Also find crystals that are ruled by Mercury. You can do your research on that, where you can find crystals that are ruled by Mercury. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense, Brittany. Okay. Any tips on remembering your dreams? Yes. You can get a dream journal. Soon as you, well, first of all, let me back it up. Okay. First of all, if you have trouble remembering your dreams and stuff like that, which everybody, you should be dreaming at least once every other day. If you're not one of those people, that means there's a problem with the pineal gland. All right. There's a problem with the pineal gland. Now, most of the time, the pineal gland is attacked by two substances, which is mucus and heavy metals. Okay. So if you're having a problem with dreaming, that means you need to get out the mucus and the heavy metals. And the only way to do that is by detoxing. And stop consuming dairy. Dairy is the number one thing that causes mucus in the body. Okay. And I'm not telling you go vegan or whatever, but if you want to remember your dreams, you want your pineal gland healthy, mucus destroys the pineal gland. It soaks it, covers it. Same thing with heavy metals, like heavy metals like mercury and, lead and all that stuff. Okay. And what's the other one? Fluoride. Get toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride in it. Okay, that destroys the pineal gland. That's the first thing, because if your pineal gland is not healthy, you're not going to be able to remember your dreams anyway. Okay, now if it is something, let's say you got your pineal gland in order, getting a dream journal as soon as you wake up. Okay, as soon as you have a dream, because most people don't write their dreams down. All right, what you want to do is write your dreams down as soon as you wake up. So having a dream journal right next to you in your bed. Okay, write them down, because this in return will improve your memory on remembering your dreams throughout the day. All right, but a lot of times people don't dream because their pineal glands are very, very unhealthy. Like I said, dairy and heavy metals destroy the pineal gland. Okay, so is there any other questions, guys? Any questions concerning any of this stuff, the shadow self, mental issue? Before I hop off of this, I want to see if anybody has any questions. So I give you guys a minute or two. Anybody out there has anything they want to learn about before I hop off of this? And get started on some music stuff. Okay. Let me look up. Let me see if I missed anybody's stuff. Thank you. Shout out to everybody in the live stream right now. Shout out to everybody participating right now. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to hear me out, to learn something new. But yeah, I guess that's everything. So again, I want to run down, the services, of course. Before that, I want to let you guys know again, for anybody that was new in the live stream, anybody new in the live stream, if you have any entrepreneurship, if you have any small business, any side hustle, anything that you sell, any service, whatever it is, I'm gonna start doing this. So I want you guys to put that in the comments of the videos, okay? Put that in the comments of the videos so I see. You can put your name, say, hey, I'm such and such. I do such and such. Here's a link to my website or my social media. Because starting with my next video, in the beginning of every video, I'm gonna shout one person out, tell everybody to go to the link in my description to their website or to their services on social media or whatever, so we can all start building as a community. So we can all start, really helping each other out and working together. Okay. Any side hustle, any business, if you're an author, whatever, writer, music, whatever it is. Okay. So just remember that for the upcoming videos. Okay. Um, no, so you're just asking, do you sample in your music? No, I don't sample in my music. Not saying you shouldn't, but I just like to create everything by myself. Okay. Um, thank you, Brittany. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah, I will do a video on feng shui. Okay. I just keep forgetting. I've been meaning to do a video on feng shui for a long time. Okay. Uh, Christian, you're asking, do I play any instruments? Yes, I play the piano. Well, I don't have my big piano, but right now, but in here, I have my, I guess my mini piano or whatever. I play piano. Again, I mainly focus on mixing and mastering music. I make beats too. Also a writer too, songwriter as well. But again, I might make another. What I might do, guys, is I'll make a YouTube channel for my music. I had one before. Again, for all the people that been following me for a long time, I had all this stuff before, right? I had my website and all that, had my music channel and all that. I hit rock bottom when I got hacked and they took everything from me. And then I stopped doing all this stuff for 2 years. Okay, so I just started coming back to YouTube, like what not even like probably like I don't even know, recently. Okay, I think in this year, I think it even hasn't even been a full year. I've been doing videos and stuff again. I've been back online again because I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got discouraged after all that, and I was just focusing on myself. Okay, I was in my ego at that time. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on my spiritual path. I'm gonna focus on my businesses and all that, you know. And then people were hitting me up in my email and stuff, and I decided to make videos again. But as you can see, it's like I'm starting all over again. My views are not as high as they were in the past. Because again, I'm starting all over again. All right. So, but I'm really came back for you guys to help people out. So, T-Flex TV, I'll answer your last question. How do you get prepared for shadow work? You have to understand the shadow self first. Okay, you can't just up and do shadow work if you don't know your shadow self, right? Now if you're new in the live stream and you haven't been listening, and you just came in, the shadow self is urges and desires that you kind of repress. Okay, you repress these because of society. Society makes you repress desires, whether they're sexual, whether they're connected to anger, whether they're connected to materialism, whether they're connected to the ego, whatever it is. Your shadow self needs to be fed. That's a reality, okay? Because what happens when you don't and you suppress it, it becomes bigger and bigger, and then it winds up exploding, and you do something out of your character. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Like I was telling people, if you had anger that's being suppressed, of course, physical activities such as sports, getting in the gym, anything competitive is going to keep that at bay, but you're still feeding your shadow self. Okay, and I also said that in your astrology chart, wherever Pluto is at, in the house, whatever house Pluto is at will show you your shadow self's where it's centered at. So again, if it's centered in the second house, your shadow self is centered around materialistic things, money, things that you own, wanting to buy things, wanting to get things. If it's in the first house, it's in the ego, because it's the self that's in your ego. Okay, makes sense. So again, everybody, um, you know, I'm gonna let you know anybody who's interested in those astrology readings. Again, occulthealing22 at gmail.com. My email is in the description of this video. Okay, so I'll lay you down. I'm just going over my services just for the end. Okay, like I said, those astrology readings. Anybody interested in those tarot readings, um, the detox sessions, the how to make money from home sessions, so you can have multiple streams of income, and also have these things automated so you're getting passive income. No pyramid schemes, no surveys, no dumb stuff online. Okay. Um, I learned these things from Ty Lopez and Anthony Morrison. Okay, $2,000. I mean, $1,000 a course. So I paid $2,000 for that information. It took me 6 years to really work around. Like, all right. And also the hypnosis session that changes your reality. It comes with a PDF action planner in the hypnosis. I put in there NLP, mental alchemy, all the planetary frequencies, all the chakra frequencies, um, uh, just a lot of stuff. Okay, again, it's not a regular hypnosis session that you can get on YouTube. That's why those YouTube hypnosis sessions don't work, because you always get what you pay for. Of course, they're giving it away for free because they didn't put a lot of effort into it. Okay, that's just how things go. I mean, we all know this, right? We all know business, right? So again, any of those services, anything, those things that you guys need from me, um, please contact me again at occulthealing22 at gmail.com. Occulthealing22 at gmail.com. The email's in the description of this video. Again, lastly, any of you guys who are entrepreneurs, any of you guys who are selling things, any of you guys who have products, services, whatever it is, start putting those in the description of this, in my videos. I mean, start putting those in the comments of my videos, so I can shout you out, have a link to your services or your website, so I can sell people, so we can work together as a community. Okay. Um, Coco Nella, you're saying, can you please share again where you get your cleanses from? Thank you. I'll put that I'll put that in the comments right here. Okay. Heal thy Heal thyself 360.com is where you can get your good cleanses from. She's another person that I promote as well, but she's authentic. You see, we're all trying to work together. So I will promote you if you have something. All right. I purchase all my cleanses from her myself too. All right. So when I mean what I say, guys. When I say I will buy your services, I will promote you. Heal thyself 360.com. That's a beautiful sister that and puts a lot of effort into her cleanses, and she has them for the low, because real cleanses are going to cost you a lot of money. We're talking hundreds of dollars. The real ones, not the ones you can get from Walgreens and GNC and stuff that cost. Those are all fake stuff. That's why they don't work. All right, this is authentic, organic cleanses she has. Okay. Now, if you want to learn how to cleanse properly, you want to learn how to cleanse the ancient way, where you can really reap the benefits. Again, contact me for the consultation. Okay. All right. So I'm happy, thankful for all of you guys. Shout out to Coconella. Shout out to T-Flex TV, Aline Kelly, Christian, Brittany. I don't know how, I don't know how to exactly say your name, my brother, but I'm just gonna call you Mr. Brown. Okay. Shout out to Marvin the Magi. Shout out to Keenan. Shout out to George. Shout out to everybody. Okay, everybody in the live stream. I thank you all again. All my services and consultations. Email me codehealing22 at gmail.com. Also, check out those other links in the description of my video. All people that I'm partnering with as well. Again, I promote everybody. Okay, so thank you all, and I appreciate you. One love. Ashe, namaste. Keep your vibrations high. Let's get it.